Hey guys, welcome to Kludgy Tech Time. I'm David, and this right here is the Skydio controller. Just came in, super excited. I've been using my Skydio to follow me around and using my phone, but I'm so excited to finally have the controller to be able to test it out, let you guys know what I think about it. So we're gonna actually take off right here and do our first flight with the controller. We have this cool bridge right here, which I included a quick snippet in another video that I made. Check that out, I think somewhere up here. And anyways, we're gonna see what the Skydio can do. A little nervous about flying over water for the first time with the controller, but anyways, we're gonna go and see what it's all about. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in and actually change some of my settings. So I'm gonna go to the controller and I'm gonna go to the flight sensitivity here, go to custom, and I'm gonna change it so that we've got full throttle, and I'm gonna change the yaw. Try, see how that works. I like super slow on my yaw rate, so my turning left and right. So we'll see how that goes. Let me go back and see what I set it to. No, let me see what I set it to. Controller, flight sensitivity. And I changed the yaw rate down from 25% to 15%, and I changed the throttle up from 85% to 100%. So we'll see how that goes. Probably shouldn't mess around with it first, but that's generally how I like to fly with my other drones. So we'll see how that goes, and maybe I'll end up changing them back to the defaults and see how that goes. All right, so we are in auto record. We are in, what are we in? We're in 4K, 30 frames per second, HEVC, and basically auto on everything. So we're gonna give that a try, see how that works. So we've got some power lines over here. We've got this bridge. Otherwise, we've got the river to play around over. So we're gonna give that a try. Otherwise, we've got the river to play around over. So we're gonna give that a try. All right, so let's just go full forward. Oh man, that looks good. I mean, I'm just looking on my little screen here on my phone, but I'm liking how that's looking. All right, so of course I have no idea how far away anything is. There's no telemetry. That's been a much discussed topic. I'm not gonna harp on that, but I will say that I was talking with Skydio support, and they were helping me out with some of the different issues, and one of the questions they answered for me was around the telemetry, and they're basically saying early next year, very early next year, I think was the exact wording. So I guess we'll see how that goes. We'll just go around this bridge here, see how this works. So right now it's kind of breaking up just a touch. I've got all this ironwork here in between me and the drone. It's kind of stuttering just a little bit on the screen, but oh man, I hope that looks good on the SD card, the video, because on my screen this looks awesome, other than the fact that it's kind of stuttering a little bit. I've always loved this bridge, but one of the things with this bridge is I've always been scared to fly too close to it with my DJI drones and my Autel Evo and other drones because of all the metal, and if you get too close to it, it'll start really messing up your compass. So I would never want to get this close. And this is one of those things that just having the confidence of the obstacle avoidance, and I'm super confident in obstacle avoidance. The Skydio 2 may not be perfect in many ways, but its obstacle avoidance is just absolutely insane. So I have no doubts about flying this close to it. I have no doubts about any of that. And like I was saying, the Skydio 2 does not have a compass in it, so it is not affected by all of this metal here. Unlike all the other drones that I've ever flown, any of the other GPS camera drones, they all have a compass in them, and so when you're flying super close to all this metal here, you just can't trust it because it's going to get a compass error and have some sort of problems. So still getting used to the sticks on this, how sensitive they are. They do seem a touch maybe on the short side. I might like them a little bit longer, give you a little bit more control. In terms of they're pretty stubby here. So, all right, so one of the things that I've read about is that there is a boost button that gives you a bit extra speed. So I'm curious to see what that does. So we're not going to go out over that road. What we are going to do, though, is we're going to do a fun little test. So what do you think, guys? So this is, so I'm going to line this up. This is one of the places where it would be nice to have the kind of the rule of thirds lines on here and a little crosshairs on here. Now, don't do this on just any train tracks because you may get smashed by a train, but in this case, I've never seen a train on this set of tracks here. So I'm going to give this a go, and again, this is something I would never ever try with any drone that has a compass in it. You can kind of see the screen's kind of stuttering, breaking up a little bit. We got a walker over here with a dog that is not excited to see me over here. But look at that. I mean, it's just cruising like a champ down the railroad tracks here. This is something I've wanted to do ever since I came by this bridge. I mean, this is freaking awesome here. So this is one of the things that I'm really loving about the Skydio is that you can just do things you can't do with other drones. So yeah, maybe it can't do everything some of the other drones can do, but the other drones can't do everything this can do. And there I go, instead of getting cinematic, making sure I'm going straight, I'm talking to you guys. Let me pop up there a little bit. Get a little height. All right, so we're gonna turn around. We're right out there. Man, just kind of drop the gimbal down a little bit. So that's the bridge we just flew. So I'm gonna go right over the top of it this time. Get nice and low to it and go right over the top of it. I love that the water's really calm, steady. Trying to get in the middle of it. But yeah, having some of the markers on the screen, a lot of the other drones will have the lines on the screen that let you do, kind of show you the rule of thirds, and they show you where the center of the screen is to help, just kind of helps you line things up a little bit. Without having that on here, it's a little bit harder to kind of judge, am I in the middle, where am I at? And so this again, unless I was using like an FPV quad, any other GPS drone, I would not do this right here. So I'm just skimming right along the top here, and of course I look up. I don't know if you guys will be able to see this, but I'm just skimming right along the top up there. And this is awesome. So I'm gonna drop in now. Oh my goodness. Coming right through it. I mean, come on now. That's awesome. You can't do that with other drones. You just can't do that. You could if you were an FPV flyer, but you gotta have way more skill than I currently have to be able to do that. All right, so we're gonna keep track. We're at 47% battery right now. Let's just kind of skim along, and then we're gonna find a spot to kind of flip through and go through some of these beams here. So I'm just gonna point it at it and get it to go. I mean, that's awesome, right? I mean, and that's not because I'm a super awesome drone operator. That's because the Skydio is just smart enough to be able to do it. It's gonna avoid it. I'm pointing it in a direction and saying, hey, kind of go through this hole, and it did it. So this camera, at least what I'm seeing on screen here, is just incredible. Let me get the gimbal up a little bit. So I'm full stick forward and I'm boost forward. Oh yeah, there's a boost. Yep, so there's those power lines there. Don't want to be messing with that. All right, so let's see. So I'm again just going to, I'm just going to full stick forward. I'm going to go down a little bit more. I'm just going to full stick forward. Oh, kind of took a bad angle on it, so it didn't want to go through there real super easily. Slowed down, but again, I mean, it's awesome, right? So let's boost it. We can definitely see a boost, even though I've got the forward and backwards at 100%. You press down this button right here, you definitely get an increase in speed. But one of the things I don't like about that is that this is on the same side as the gimbal control is. So you've got to be able to work both fingers. I like working the gimbal with my index finger, but that's, connection lost. All right, so it's connections regained. Okay. Well, it wasn't actually returning. That's a bit disconcerting. So it said that it lost connection, and it's honestly not that far down there, right? I mean, that's not that far, but I do have a lot of metal here in between me. I don't know. I don't know if that's causing the problem or what, but anyways, I think that kind of made me lose my train of thought there. But oh my goodness, I mean, look at this. So I'm going to give it a little bit of a boost here. All right, we're at 27% battery. I'm going to bring it back, and so I'm going to work its way back here. Try and get one last pass on this bridge right here. So let's get a bit lower. You know what? We're going to utilize. So let's back up. Back up, back up, back up. And I'm going to scoot down. Okay. I'm going to bring the gimbal. So I'm going to bring the gimbal up a bit higher here and play with that. All right, so see if we can get some nice smooth movement here. Drone's just right on the other side of the river. I can see it right above the tree line there. I've got the gimbal up a little bit. One of the great things I would like to see from Skydio is when they implement their telemetry, or even before, is give me the angle that the gimbal is at. That would be very useful. All right, so we're gonna lower it down just a little bit and scoot in a little bit closer. And I love how the bridge is kind of silhouetted. This will be a pretty good test of dynamic range here, because I've got just a touch of the sun up there, and then so that's going to be blown out, and then see what else we can see in the video here. All right, so we're at 18%, so I really want to get this back here. All right, started floating a little bit further away from the bridge than I really wanted to. All right, there we are. All right, so we'll land it. Landing. All right, so that was the first battery with the Skydio 2 flying through the bridge, and that was really cool to be able to do that. I was able to do some things that I just wouldn't trust myself to do otherwise. And I wouldn't even trust myself right now or for a long time to be able to do some of the stuff I was doing there with even an FPV drone that doesn't have a compass in it that would cause problems, because you got the river right there, and if you crashed on there, then you'd be SOL. So that's something that, at least from my perspective, I probably wouldn't do for a long time. I still haven't started FPV. I want to soon, but with the Skydio, it just lets me do a lot of things that I just couldn't do otherwise. So I'm going to cut out of here and go to another location just down the river and take this for another flight. That'll probably be on another video, so look out for that very shortly. So hope you guys have a great day. Get out and go fly it. Hope you have a great day like it is today. No wind, sunny, beautiful, and hope to see you on another one soon. Ciao.